Genetics is the study of heredity that was started by experiments done by this cool guy known as Gregor Mendel, and he studied pea plants. Heredity is the passing of traits from parent to offspring. Traits can be described as genotype or phenotype. For example, this cute baby over here has beautiful, beautiful eyes. Those beautiful eyes are a specific trait for this baby, and those blue eyes have a genotype which refers to the alleles or the forms of genes that the baby has. For example, it could be big A or big A, little a. The phenotype refers to the trait itself. For example, brown eyes or diseased. Clearly, this baby has beautiful eyes and it does not have any disease, but that's also an example. A genotype can be homozygous or heterozygous. A homozygous genotype has the same alleles, for example, big A or little a, little a. A heterozygous genotype has different alleles, like big A, little a. Different alleles are classified as dominant or recessive. The dominant trait is written in capital letters and almost always masks the recessive, which is written in lowercase letters. For example, the bully always is dominant. Big letter, big bully. The little kid is recessive, and whenever the bully and the little kid get together, you can only really see the bully because the bully is a bully and so big. There are two major laws in genetics, and we call these Mendel's laws. The first one is Mendel's law of segregation. In Mendel's law of segregation, alleles for the same trait separate into different gametes. So for example, if this man is big A, little a, he produces one sperm with a big A and one sperm with a little a. So there's a 50% probability that his child will get the big A gene or the little a gene. The second of Mendel's law is the law of independent assortment. In this law, different traits separate into different gametes. So let's say, for example, that these two chromosomes right here code for the trait for eye color, and this one over here codes for the trait for shoe size. The traits for eye color and shoe size are not always inherited together. So I can have several different combinations of these two different traits. Whenever you do genetics problems, you are usually using a Punnett square. In a Punnett square, the genotypes from the parental gametes are combined to form the genotype of the potential offspring. Whenever you have a cross, you put the parental gametes on top and on the side, and then you're going to combine them to form the offspring. Quick review. Remember, you always drag the gametes down. So this big A comes here, this big A then goes across, and this offspring is big A, big A. Here, I'm going to drag this little a down, drag the big A across. Now this gamete is big A, little a. Sometimes you will be asked about different types of inheritance. In addition to the normal dominant recessive inheritance, traits can also be inherited with something called incomplete dominance. In this case, the heterozygous condition produces a mixture of dominant and recessive traits. For example, a black and a white dog mate, and they could produce a gray dog. In this example on the video, a red plant and a white plant mate, and they produce all pink plants. This is incomplete dominance. A different type is codominance, and in this case, the heterozygous condition produces a combination of dominant and recessive traits. And for example, the black and the white dog, if they mate, they might produce a white dog with black spots. In this case, a white type of cow, brown type of bull, or maybe it's vice versa, their offspring has, some white, some brown. That is codominance. The last one that you should know about is called sex-linked inheritance. In this case, the traits are on the X chromosome, which is a sex chromosome, and more men are affected in this case. If you remember, this is a pedigree. The men are in squares because they're very square. And you can see that more men in this family are affected by this disease. The women tend to be carriers, so only half of their circle is filled in. That means they don't have the disease, but they carry the gene for the disease. In sex-linked inheritance, more men are affected. I'll leave you with one final thing in genetics, and that would be this joke. What kind of inheritance is this? Bah ha 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 ha. Okay, that's it.